Hello friends, now I am explaining the concept number 1.5, chapter 1, fifth concept. In this concept, we are mainly focusing on static variables and static methods. Already I told you we can define mainly 9 types of elements in a class. They are instance variables, instance methods, constructors, static variables, static methods, instance initializer blocks, static initializer blocks, instance inner classes, static inner classes. Totally 9 types of elements we can write. One thing you must remember, all types of elements are not required in all cases. Depending on the requirement, we define those elements as the components of a class. In this, we are mainly focusing on static variables and static methods. What is the purpose of static? We can understand. Their syntax is also we can understand. And one more thing, in this program, I want to teach you one more thing also. That is the phases in project development. That is formal development of the project. There are 5 phases in that: task, analysis, algorithm, coding, and testing. There are 5 phases. Already I told you this is career oriented study, not college oriented study. So from the beginning, from the day 1, you must understand what is career oriented study and what we have to do, why we have to learn things differently. So this is a professionalism, that is development of a project in a formal way is a professional feature. So program may be small or big, we have to understand, we have to develop it, we have to think it in a formal way, and we should develop it. So even though it takes more time also, you should have perseverance. Without having patience and perseverance, you never become a professional. The professional's first and foremost important quality is perseverance. Perseverance and hard work. That is not there everything if you want precisely and all that. At the cost of subject, you can learn precisely. Don't expect things precisely. Whatever is there, unnecessary things I never talk. So whatever is really required for the professionalism, for achieving professionalism, everything I teach. That's why you must have patience to listen and understand and work out. So in this is our output. This we are expecting from the program. So this is solution domain. Solution domain is like our destination, what we have to do. And what would be the problem? We have to take a room and its dimensions, we have to give input. Thereafter, we have to calculate the area in square feet, and thereafter we have to convert the area in square feet into square meters. This is the task of the program. So you could understand the problem also. This is problem domain, this is solution domain. In this case, it is very simple. Then this is the first one, task. First phase in project development is understanding task. Understanding task means understanding problem thoroughly and understand what client is expecting. That's solution domain. You should have 100% clarity about them. It is like understanding question first before answering. Before answering also, before writing, you form what I have to write. So understanding problem domain and solution domain. Through your program, you are bridging the gap between problem domain and solution domain. That you understand. Thereafter, analysis. Analysis means thinking process. thinking process, what we have to do for achieving this task. In this, as it is an object-oriented program using Java code, then we have to identify object first. That's a very crucial issue. So in C and all that, we never think of creating an object. Here we have to first identify an object, because object is a building block of a program. That's why, what is object? In a simple case, room is the object. Room is the object. So room is the object, and we have to create 3 variables for storing values of length, breadth, and height respectively, and we have to create a method for finding out area in square feet. Thereafter, we have to create another method to convert the area in square feet into area into square meters. So that is our thinking process. Now in examination, what to do? Just you understand, you analyze your behavior. You see the questions and first see the question, read and understand it thoroughly, and what answer I have to write, and all that you fill the buffer, then you start writing. In the same way, now you first understand the question thoroughly, problem thoroughly. Thereafter, what answer I have to write and all that, you just keep in mind. Thereafter you start writing. So this is the analysis. Analysis is the thinking process. It is through thinking process you are bridging the gap between problem domain and solution domain. But thinking is not everything. It is quite abstract. So third step is algorithm. In algorithm, we are defining procedures. Now we got an idea. Now for implementation purpose, we want procedures. How to implement that? So this is also simple way. We have to define 3 variables for storing the values. Thereafter, we have to define 4 methods. What are the 4 methods? For first is initializing variables. Thereafter, calculating floor area SFT, converting SFT to SMT, and displaying print output. Now complete clarity you got. Just to see, this is all mental work. Every time I tell you, most of you, almost according to me, 99% of the students feel that coding is programming. Who will do this? All this? Your mental work should be completed. This is all mental. 3 steps are mental work. Now 4th step, coding is started. That point always you remember. So now you got clarity. What you have to do? What type of code you have to write? For that purpose, 3 variables you have to declare. Thereafter, for initializing variables and all that, one method is required, obviously. Thereafter, you have to calculate area in square feet. After calculating area in square feet, you have to convert square feet into square meters. After everything is generated, then you have to produce result in this format. So for that, another method is required. So 3 variables are to be declared and 4 methods are to be declared. Then we got the clarity. This is the mental work is over. Then we have to start our physical work. What is our physical work? Coding. This only I am telling you. In the 4th step, coding will come. Now language enters now. Computer enters now. This is a matter of common sense. Your aptitude. All these are required. If you have this, then you can climb the ladder. Not only getting a software career, you can climb the ladder. How long you will be like a base programmer and all that? Climb the ladder and become manager and enjoy the esteem. Because once all our needs are fulfilled and all that, everybody wants to have a esteem need. You should be respected in your circles and all that. You should be unique. You should be special in your circles and all that. Because of this knowledge only, you can prove yourself different from others. Simply I can do coding, I can do testing and all that. That I am not derogating their importance. Suppose one article I develop. Somebody testing. Developing this article is the real thing. Lot of intelligence, knowledge and all that are required in developing. Testing, now there are 4 or 5 functionalities for this. You test it, whether it is working properly or not. That I don't say it is unimportant, but it is like, in my view, it is like a rice cooking job. Rice cooking job means, first time if you are cooking rice and all that, you do not know how much water you have to pour, how much time you have to boil and all that. So one time you learnt and successfully cooked rice. Thereafter 1,000 times if you cook the rice also, you never get any great knowledge. Same knowledge only you are repeating. So that what I call is rice cooking job. So that I am not expecting through my system. This I am expecting. For that purpose, I am providing you complete support from the scratch, from the beginning. That's why in the 3rd program itself, I am introducing this procedure. I have already explained to you 3 phases of project development. Task means understanding problem domain and solution domain. Analysis, that is the thinking process to bridge the gap between problem domain and solution domain. 3rd one is algorithm, to implement this, the procedures to implement the thinking process. That 3 steps I explained. The 4th one is coding. Coding, that means we are providing our instructions to the computer. What is a program? A program is set of instructions to a computer. So a computer program is a set of instructions to the computer. Now we have to develop such instructions, such a set of instructions required to achieve this task. Okay, for this purpose you must have perfect command over coding. Coding automatically you don't get. Your intelligence has no role. You have to practice, because all these elements are new to you. So first you have to understand about each and every element. Thereafter you must write. There is no alternative for hands-on approach. Every code you write. Then while you are writing code and all that, those are registered in your brain, you can own it. Then there are 2 advantages. In coding you can save a lot of time, and you can save much more time in debugging. If you don't have command over coding, obviously you commit mistakes and it leads to bugs. Thereafter you have to spend a lot of time for debugging, and you are unnecessarily tired, number 1. Number 2 is automatically you lose interest in programming. That's why achieve perfect code. Each and every program you write, thereafter you type. While writing, naturally things are registered in your brain. You believe me and try. Don't be lazy. And now coding. As far as coding is concerned, already I told you, as a matter of convention, we have to start with a comment. Comment, already I told you, it is like a heading of the chapter. So why I am giving heading, why I have given index, why I am wasting 1 page, you know that, I need not explain. It improves the readability of this thing. Otherwise, in this book, 20 pages I can save. Even though 1 page I am earmarking for heading and indexing. Understand? What is the purpose of that? You know better. Then here comment. Comment, already I told you 3 R's of comment. Right comment, right form and right place. So first you have written comment using instance variables and methods and static variables and method. So now with this I am introducing 4 out of 9, 4 types of elements I am introducing. Now you see, first every program must have at least 1 class. Every Java program is a composition of one or more classes. So first we have to write a blueprint. Now already I have given the output. With the reference to that, we have to develop a blueprint class. Now already identified the object, that is room. We are dealing with the room. So corresponding blueprint you have to develop. So blueprint class you have to develop. That obviously you name it as room. Already explained to you. It should be written in Pascal case. It should be a noun. It should be a noun. That's why room I have written, and this is a blueprint class. Because for everything first we develop blueprint, thereafter we implement. Blueprint sake one class we define, implementation sake another class we define. This is blueprint class definition. Okay, now this is the block. This is the class body. In the class body only whatever elements we require and all that we declare. And now what are the variables we have to declare? Int. Actually for the sake of simplicity int I am using. Naturally you have to use float, because the room length, breadth and height, don't expect it is in round figure as a whole number. That's why for the sake of simplicity I am doing. Yes, you understand that. And this is instance variable length I am defining, breadth I am defining, and height I am defining. Here complete names, these should be written in camel case. Camel case, except classes, remaining most elements you write in camel case. If it is only one word in lowercase, and if more than one word is there, second word onwards the first letter is capital case. This is camel case. All variables, they may be instance variables or static variables, we must write in camel case. Here 3 instance variables I have declared. Here I am introducing new concept, static variables. Now you compare the nature of length, breadth and height of a room. Any building you take, there are 10 rooms, for example, there are 10 rooms in a building. All rooms length and breadth are unique. The size of length and breadth are unique, but height may be common. In a building, all rooms are having same height. So for this purpose, it is a common thing. Then instead of declaring it as an instance variable, I want to declare as a static variable. Static int height. Here just I have to give little more explanation to incorporate the concept in your brain. Actually height is common. Compare with length, breadth and height. Length and breadth are unique. Room to room they have unique dimensions. So separate blocks are required to store their values. As far as height is concerned, it is common for all the rooms in a building. If it is not so, suppose different room heights are different in a building, then you must declare it as a height. Normally in any building if you take, the height of every room is common. I am taking that assumption and declare it as a height. Now in this context, which variables we have to declare static? One example I give you. There are 60 members, students in your class, and your management has to take five data items of all of you. Five items. The number one is your semester number, your branch, your name, your roll number and your age. There are 5 items. You may declare as instance variables, all 5 instance variables, but which you can declare them as static. Just think, 5 items: your semester number, your branch, your name, your roll number and your age. Everybody is having their unique name. Okay, everybody is having their unique roll number, everybody is having their unique age. But as far as semester number is concerned, just think, in a class I am talking about, you are all belong to A sem, so it is a common. it is common. And in the same way, all you are in one class, so you are belong to one branch, like computer science or mechanical or civil. One branch, you are belong to one branch. So if you want these two, what is semester number and branch, you can declare as static. Try to understand through examples only, not there is no room for by hearting. By hearting you never learn anything. Your attitude is very core, your maturity is very core, your common sense plays a vital role here. Always you remember and proceed. So now what is the advantage of this? You may get it out. Suppose there are 10 rooms in a building. 10 rooms in a building. You declare all the 3 as instance variables. That means 10 objects are created, 10 rooms, R1, R2, R3, R10. 10 rooms you are creating. So how many variables are created? Instance variables. R1 height, R1 breadth, R1 height, R1 length, R1 breadth, R1 height, R2 length, R2 breadth, R2 height, R10 length, R10 breadth and R10 height. In this manner 30 variables are required. Now because of this strategy, you see here instance variables are 2, 10 into 2, 10 into 2, 20 are enough, 20 are enough, and height static belong to class, static belong to class. That's why how you represent that, if you have to represent and all that, what is the class name? A room dot height. Only one is enough. For all the 10 rooms you can use this code. As far as length and breadth is concerned, R1 dot length and R1 dot breadth. In the same way, up to 10, how many? 20 plus 1, 21 and around. If you declare them as instance variable, 30 are required. Suppose in your class 60 students are there. 16 to 5, if you declare all 5 as instance variables, 16 to 5, 300 variables are required. Now you are declaring semester number and branch as static. Then how many are required? 3 into 60, 180 plus 2, 182 are required. In this case, originally 30 are required. Now you can limit it to 21. Understand, that is the advantage of static. So for all variables, one common value is applicable, then you may declare, nobody will force you. Then you can declare it as a static.